At CBF, we know that for you to change your body, you need to change your mind. Exercise and eating healthy is only part of the plan. We care about our members as we care about our family, because our members become our family. It is not about competition, but support. It is not about being the strongest or the fastest, but about you defeating your negative self. It is about working together and making the task challenging and have fun. By the end, what matters is not how hard the session was, but that you take control of your mind so you can take control of your body. My name is Sandro Torres, and I'm happy you are part of our family. Welcome to Custom Body Fitness. We are going to begin. We're going to be talking about carbohydrates today. So every time that I train people, all of our members have different questions about everything, about the things they need to do to lose this area of the stomach, the things they need to do to lose weight faster, the things they need to eat, what time they need to eat, what foods should be avoiding, and things like that. What products should be taking and everything. What time of the day do they need to exercise? When is the best time, and so on. So today I'm gonna answer the question about carbohydrates. A lot of people don't know about carbohydrates and think by eating carbohydrates they are going to gain weight. So let's clarify that. First of all, what are carbohydrates? Carbohydrates, it's a micronutrient. It's a chain of energy, if you want to call it like that. That chain of energy, there are veggies, there are grains, legumes. That's what carbohydrates are. So just think about a chain. The way you break a chain, you need special tools to break that chain. If you want to break a chain, of course, and every single link is gonna have a different type of tool. That's how our body digests the food. Let's say if you eat any kind of food, when it comes down to the stomach, you have enzymes, and the enzymes, what they do, they meet that carbohydrates, the enzyme to break carbohydrates, and then they start breaking the carbohydrates to take it as an energy. So really, what you eat most likely is gonna be carbohydrates. Everything that you eat, except for meats and fat, but everything else, such as, like you just mentioned, veggies, grains, legumes, all that are gonna be carbohydrates. But there is a big myth out there that carbohydrates they do contribute to weight gain, which is true, but it's also false. It's true because the man-made carbohydrates are the ones that make you gain weight, such as refined sugars, such as processed foods, such as processed bread, cookies, instant soups, frozen foods. All that's gonna help you gain weight because all those carbohydrates, they're already processed in one way or the other. Now, natural carbohydrates doesn't help you gain weight. They actually do the opposite. They help you lose weight. So let's talk a couple things about carbohydrates. The first thing we're going to be talking about is what are simples and what are complex carbohydrates. Simple carbohydrates are things that you can digest fast. They go faster to the bloodstream than the complex carbohydrates. For example, juices and fruits. Fruits come in a natural state. Even though they're still simple, they need to go into a digesting process. But that digesting process is faster than a complex carbohydrate. A complex carbohydrate, you're talking about grains such as rice, oatmeal, granola, even quinoa that is high in protein has carbohydrates. Veggies. So when you eat a veggie, when you eat a rice, when you eat anything like that, the body's going to take time for it to digest it. For the fruit, it's different. It digests it faster. But it's nothing compared to refined sugar, which we're going to talk about it in a minute. I use fruit and sometimes juices for members when they come to exercise with us. Their carbohydrates, even though they eat a lot of carbohydrates, because they don't use the natural carbohydrates, the organic carbohydrates, usually their muscles are low in carbohydrates. They have a lot of fat, but they're low in carbohydrates. At the same time, they haven't exercised in a while. The insulin goes up the first day when they exercise with us. That makes them nauseous, that makes them dizzy, that makes them tired, that makes them like they feel they're gonna pass out. Because even though the carbohydrates are low in their muscles, they do have a high percentage of sugar in the bloodstream, which are the bad carbohydrates, which I am going to clarify in a minute. Plus, their insulin is very low. Because the insulin is very low, when they're exercising, the first thing they do, the insulin kicks in very high. And the sugars they have in the bloodstream, they drop right away. And that's when they feel dizzy, nauseated, they feel like they're going to pass out. So that's why I use fruits, or I use sometimes juices, organic juices. I give them a fruit if I have it available, a juice, so they can drink it or eat the fruit. And the sugar levels, they level up right away. So that's normal for people who don't exercise very often. So that's why simple carbohydrates are very good for you if you need energy right away. So simple carbohydrates such as fruits and juices, that's very good that you eat them right before you exercise, because you need that energy if you don't have it, if you haven't eaten all day, for example. The complex carbohydrate, it takes longer to digest, for it to break down and so on. They need to store into the muscles, into the liver. Why carbohydrates are so important and why they do help you lose weight. So let's begin by saying that that's the main energy that your body needs. Right now, for example, when I am talking to you, when I am walking, eating, and things like that, my body's burning fat. So, for example, let's say I go for a walk. In that walk, I burn 300 calories because I'm using more fat than carbohydrates. In that hour of walking, and I burn 300 calories, I'm gonna burn more fat. So I'm gonna be burning, let's put as an example, 200 calories of fat, and I'm gonna be burning 100 calories of carbohydrates. Now let's say I go for a run and I run for an hour. So now I'm burning 600 calories. Let's put that as an example. Now I'm gonna burn more carbohydrates than I'm burning fat. However, because I'm burning more calories, I end up burning more fat than when I'm walking. Now I'm gonna be burning probably 300 calories of fat, and I'm gonna be burning around 300 calories of carbohydrates. So carbohydrates is so important for you to exercise, because that's the main energy when you do any intense workout. That's why many of our clients, when they come for the first time, they feel dizzy, nauseated, because they don't have that carbohydrate stored. So what your body does when it digests carbohydrates, it stores that carbohydrates in your muscles, and it does store it in your liver. So you use it when you're gonna do something intense, such as running, such as when you get emotional. That's why many people get diabetic when they get emotional, because they don't have that carbohydrate stored, which are the good carbohydrates. Because the bad carbohydrates are those processed foods that I already talked about, those refined sugars that increase the sugar levels in the bloodstream, but it's not stored in the body like the complex carbohydrates. So you need those complex carbohydrates for you when you do something intense. So it's so important. Not only that, it's also needed for your brain. It helps with your mood. It helps any energy that the brain uses. The brain doesn't use OA, or the nervous system doesn't use any other energy other than carbohydrates. So it's very important if you want to be aware, if you want to be awake, if you want to think straight, for you to use the right carbohydrates. So you want to eat complex carbohydrates. Now, let's see what you can put in your food and how much carbohydrates do you need. So in a plate, you usually need around 45 to 60% carbohydrates. Okay, let's pause that and let's talk about the things that you should not eat that are carbohydrates. Anything that is processed, this should be clear by now. Everything that is man-made. If you grab an apple, it's completely fine. If you eat rice, it's completely fine. If you drink a juice straight from the either veggie or from the fruit, it's fine. The problem is when it's starting to be refined. For example, when they remove the sugar from the cane or from any other fruit, they get all the nutrients out of the fruit or the veggies or whatever they're using. So now, what they're doing is getting all the nutrients, which is actually protein, which is carbohydrates, the complex carbohydrates or anything like that goes in there, which is also the vitamins, the minerals, is the fiber, it's out. And now they're getting all the refined sugar. Now, let me repeat that again. When you drink or when you eat in the refined sugar, it goes straight to your bloodstream, doesn't get digested the way simple carbohydrates in the natural state or complex carbohydrates get digested. So that's why it's so important that you get rid of all the processed foods. And I already mentioned the processed food. So now the carbohydrates that you want to be eating, it's going to be beans, rice, quinoa, for example, granola, oatmeals. So all those veggies, fruits. So that's all the carbohydrates that you want to be eating. So now let's specify that into a plate. If you're eating 45 to 65 of carbohydrates in your plate, you're not going to eat, obviously, the 50 or the 60 or the 70% of meat in your plate, right? So what I recommend to our members to do is at least 50% veggies. You want to get the best carbohydrates out there, and the best carbohydrates going to be veggie, because not only you getting the complex carbohydrates out of those veggies, which are very low in fat, super low in fat, and you storing the right carbohydrates in your muscles and your liver, you're getting a lot of nutrients such as vitamins and such as mineral. Yes, you can put rice, you can put beans, you can use corn, you can use tortillas, but if you use tortilla, use the right ones. What I mean with the right ones, use the organic ones. They're not processed, they're natural made. If you start using the ones that are processed, they have a lot of chemicals in there, then all the nutrients have been removed from that tortilla. So what you want to do, once again, going back to your plate, you want to do at least 50% veggies. If you can do more, cut your meats a little down, and you can put rice. If you put in 50% veggies, you can do 20%, 30% rice, and then 20% meat, or 30% meat and then 20% rice, for example. So that's an example how you should be eating. Now, I have a member who said that oatmeal, she feels like she eats oatmeal and she gains weight, and she's been losing a lot of weight. And what I told her is that's your perception. However, like I mentioned in other videos when I mentioned about diets, there is some people they can eat oatmeal because they don't digest oatmeal correctly, because they don't have those enzymes like other people do. So if you feel like your stomach get bloated, maybe you want to get rid of the oatmeal, you want to get rid of any other carbohydrates that you feel like it makes you bloated, because your body can digest those carbohydrates. But it's the same thing with meat. Some people can't digest the meat and some other people can digest the meat. So the product that is natural is actually not bad. It's simply that your body is not made to eat that. So play with the carbohydrates, but make sure you eat the carbohydrates. And once again, the good carbohydrates, which are the complex carbohydrates, and the simple natural carbohydrates, are those that don't contribute with weight gain, that actually help you to lose weight, and they help you to be in better shape and with a lot more energy and be healthy. The ones that do contribute to weight gain are those that are processed, right? They're not in a natural state anymore. So I hope this video helped you. It's a very short video. If you have any questions, comments, please do it. And I'll be glad to answer those questions. And thank you so much for continue following us. And I talk to you in the next video next Wednesday.
Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. If you enjoyed the content offered here, then I know you will enjoy these books. These are great tools to lead you to successful weight loss, better health, and greater happiness.